Good afternoon, and thanks for watching. My name is Sarai H Ajai. Today is October 21st, 2018. The time is 26 minutes after 12 p.m. Part 1 of this video is regarding the continuous violation and retaliation against me for no apparent reasons, against my coexistence. When I'm not related or have acquaintance or personally connected to any one person. And it's very distressful. People are presenting themselves with an habitual dislike against my coexistence. It's always something about my hairdo, or it's about my size, or it's about me being gay, a gay person, or a lesbian person, and I'm not a lesbian person. I don't practice same-sex orientation, and I'm being discriminated based on my birth sex and my gender identity for no apparent reason. And they're using in the public, even public transportation or in a grocery store, employees, customers, employers are constantly harassing me about me being a person who practices same-sex orientations, or I'm a transgender person when I'm not. So when I go into the stores, I'm either have a homeless code, a black code, or a transgender code, or a gay code, when I'm none of the above. I went out on Wednesday and I was in tears. I mean flowing tears in the aisles on October 17th of 2018, what happened to me in that grocery store. And I would go into it probably in a second video. I just want to give you some legal foundations of what I'm experiencing here in this town, because I had to move by car 196 miles from my last apartment to where I'm living now because of something similar. But here, I'm scared I'm going to be shot down, gang raped, or kidnapped because I don't practice same-sex orientation. They're using reverse psychology, because remember the court case of the gay couple who wanted the bakery to bake them a cake, a wedding cake, and they were denied because of his religious objections to it. They're playing this game, and in the stores, I am not a homosexual person, but they claim that I am in order to cause me these problems. It's like reverse psychology methods that they're using when they're gay people there, and their appearance, they're gay. Their looks carry that they're gay. But I'm singled out as a transgender person, a homeless person, or black code for no apparent reason. I do not know any of the customers or employees or employers. I never applied at any grocery store. So why am I having these problems then? That's a really good question. I don't know. I know I'm being singled out and I'm being targeted because I am not gay. And I will go through what I wrote on my computer screen that I'm using as a teleprompter. So if you see my eyes move, I'm looking at my computer screen or papers on the table here where I'm sitting. But let me get back to this case of the wedding couple that were denied because they were same sex. United States Court ruled Monday, it was June 4th, 2018, in favor of the Colorado baker who refused to bake a cake to celebrate the marriage of a same-sex couple because of his religious rejection. But they claim this reverse psychology. These gay people that mostly control these stores and grocery chains are targeting heterosexuals. The Civil Rights Act protects them over their same-sex orientation. Homophobic person will be imprisoned federally for violating a homosexual person's rights. But I'm experiencing the opposite. They're heterophobics. They're very heterophobics. I'm going to tell you what happened to me. It's awful what they said to me. And I'm not gay. So if you hear some noise in the background, I live not too far from the expressway. I can actually see it where I'm sitting. So you can hear that noise is basically the cars going back and forth on the highway. And I feel I have no rights. I have no rights. I don't know why these people are doing this to me. And they show up where I am just to cause me nothing but traumatic distress. And they play these reverse psychology games to make it appear that I'm gay to justify them don't want me shopping in their stores, even though they have gay employees. And what I experienced on October 17th, this past Wednesday, is not the only time. I experienced at another major grocery chain and retailer store not far from here for no apparent reason. For the same reason. I either have a transgender code, a lesbian code, or a black code, or a homeless code. For no apparent reason. I'm fully dressed. I dress very conservatively. Even in the summer, it could be 100 degrees outside and I'm wearing a blazer, fully covered. They don't like my looks. That's what they tell me. They don't like my looks. They want to gay me. But let me get to the legal ramification of this problem now. Whether store owners have permitted, allotted, infringed, or compelled relational identification, surrogates, or substitute through disidentification of my authentic identity that triggered identity segregation, conformability, tipping methods or schemes by means of employees and customers, surrogates or substitute forcible rights with respects to switching protected class category quotas or civil rights protection from me, to switch it from me to ensure their economic subsidies, enrichments, and entitlements that employees, employers, and customers preferably treated and profiled more favorably because their cover-up deprived me my ability to seek a meaningful redress. Their unethical misconduct actions with respects to my documentations and furtherance employers, employees, and customers a said conspiracy to intentionally act together to elicit or provoke sex trafficking, peonage, slavery, involuntary servitude, or forced labor. Forced labor. They claim that I'm not sick. When I am. And the definition of tipping is defined as a sociological phenomenon from prior problems. An identity tipping principle suggests that one major race, religion, advocacy groups, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, quote, LGBT, special interest, or caucus groups will abandon and avoid a particular neighborhood or labor market after the minority population that are federally protected class demographically increase in those particular areas or labor markets that exceed a certain percentage point. In order to prevent tipping in those neighborhoods, educational attainments, housing, and labor markets, any person are permitted to unlawfully supersede federal and state laws by false impersonations and using another person's original identification by forged or fraudulent identification of goods, identity instruments, or identifiers to escape any economic disparities and educational inequalities, to increase employment hiring, rental and housing opportunities, and educational attainment quotas in those federally protected class categories by pretending a person who is falsely impersonating the original person is classified as the original person on their documentation in the same sex or cross-race categories in order to stay predominantly and economically controlled by one race or advocacy groups or LGBT or special interest groups or caucus communities. I must end this part 1 video, and then I will go into what happened to me on October 17, 2018, for no apparent reason. Now, I want you to remember, I can't give the legal name of the retailer store. So I will use a symbolic symbol, M, to describe it. I will call it M store. I'm afraid that I'm going to be killed. They're claiming to not help me in anything because of what they've done. They know they have violated my human rights, my civil rights, for no apparent reason. I kept a daily diary Daylio. It's spelled Daylio. And that's how I know the time of my incident, because I was writing in my diary at the time when it occurred. But someone went in there and started changing my text, talking about I was going to kill people, and I didn't say that on my text. They were changing phrases or words around on me. So I'm going to end the video, and this will be part 2 of what happened to me in that store that I was very upset on Wednesday, October 17th of 2018. It started at 12:15 p.m. And I started texting in my Daylio journal. That's how I kept track of what they done to me and what they said to me.